On today's Ask Zach, we get to look at a pair of incredibly rare 1969 Telecaster necks that have their owners' names inlaid in mother of pearl by the Fender factory. This was a custom option that they called Fender neck personalization in 1969. Well, hello friends, and welcome to Ask Zach. Today we're going to take a trip down to Corpus Christi, Texas to Clawson's Music, and we're going to look at the pair of 1969 Telecasters owned by father and son, Bob and Bubba Clawson. This is a fantastic and rare opportunity because this neck personalization thing that Fender offered in 1969 was rarely taken because of the expense. And so we get to take a look at these things, and it's rare, wonderful, and fun. And as a kid that grew up in South Texas, it's just a lot of fun for me to get to see old Bob. Well, of course, Bob wasn't able to come down there. He's in his 90s and wasn't having a good day, but got to see Bubba and his son, Bobby Clawson, and just have a good time. So, of course, first off, we need to take a little pause for the cause, and I just need to thank my Patreon members. I need to thank everyone that's bought a t-shirt or a coffee mug, everyone that's given a thumbs up or, written a nice comment. Don't write the bad ones. I read them all. And just for me to be grateful and say thank you. And if you want to find out more about supporting the channel, you can look in the description. All right, let's dive in. So in 1969, in the 69 catalog, Fender started offering this neck personalization option. And so here's the page from the catalog. And then let's look at kind of a close-up of the drawing, which shows, of course, Buck Owens inlaid in pearl in a rosewood board Telecaster neck. Now let's look at the catalog description, which I will read for you now. Fender neck personalization. Personalize your guitar or bass by having your name appear across the fingerboard. Now, to give the Fender owner even more pride in his instrument, this customization is available. Each mother of pearl letter is handsomely carved and precision inlaid for correct spacing and size. For outstanding stage appearance and lifetime of service, match it with a lifetime of satisfaction. Fantastic. Then, of course, found also a listing in the Fender price list for 1969 to find out what the cost. And boy, howdy. So for 10 letters, which this looks like it was the minimum, was $150, and you got up to 10 letters. So $150 in 1969, which of course, if you adjust for inflation, is like $1,300 in today's money. Can you imagine paying $1,300 extra to have your name inlaid in pearl in the neck of your guitar? Now, some of you probably can, but that's a lot of money. But you have to remember that Bob and Bubba, Fender dealers, this is a new option, and they are gigging professionals playing country music. So Bob played with his wife, the late Barbara Clawson, and then of course Bubba also, started playing in bars and clubs around South Texas about that time, and they were, professional musicians besides, running a music store. So for them, it was, kind of advertisement for themselves and also for, Fender and for their shop. And it was a great thing. But this is something that I've rarely seen examples of. I very rarely have I ever seen. I've never laid my hands on another Fender from this era where they had their name inlaid in the neck. So we're about to see a clip, some clips of me down at Clawson's Music in Corpus Christi, Texas. I went there last week. It was for my birthday. I was down there. I turned 52. And it was just a fun time to, I got to visit with my buddy Chip, and I also got to see some other friends. My buddy Bill McCumber that gave me my Bigsby 69 Telly, and yeah, and eat some good food and have a good time. So it was very nice to go down there. So yeah, we're going to see these clips. I need to give a couple corrections because there was things that I was able to research better after filming. So first off, we're going to see Bob Clawson's Telly, and even though it doesn't have markings on it, it's most assuredly a 1969 neck. The body is most definitely a 1967 body, and it was just because I know Bob Clawson and I know that he's done this through the years. He understood that Fender guitars were parts guitars, and so he would routinely, if he liked a certain body better, he would take his neck and put it on a different body, and I think that's what the situation is here. Yeah, and so there's even some markings on the bottom of the neck that I talk about for a minute, but then I realized Bobby Clawson pointed it out that it was just some of the ink stamp from the inside of the 67 body that had rubbed off. So yes, so it's most definitely a 67 Tele Custom, sunburst with double binding, and it's had some modifications done to it, and then it has a 1969 neck. And then you'll see the Bubba neck that is a rosewood board, and it is most assuredly a 1969 neck because we are able to pop it off, and it has the stamp at the end of the heel that indicates 1969. All right, well, watch the clips. We're also going to get to talk to Bubba Clawson for a little bit, and he talks a little bit about the store and just about his guitar a little bit, and then we'll come back and I'll talk a little bit about the importance of Clawson's music to me, and we'll say goodbye. Well, hello there, friends. Today we are down at Clawson's Music in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we are looking at a really cool vintage Telly. So this is Bob Clawson's Telly that he custom ordered from Fender, and unfortunately it has no marking on the end of the neck, but the markings on the inside of the body here indicate 67. So you can see the B and the C and then the 7, and then the next numbers are the number of the week. So this is very much right for 1967. The color, the sunburst, the fading. Of course, it wouldn't have said Bob Clawson on there, but I like it better with Bob Clawson on there. This looks to be original bridge pickup. This is obviously replaced Fender bridge from the early 70s. Replacement guard, replacement neck humbucker. And then underneath here, you can see how it was routed. And then you can see that you've got the little cigar route in between the pickups, which definitely make it 67 or 68 at the latest, but that confirms that. So this is most definitely a 67 Tele Custom double bound. You can see, beautifully aged. And then this awesome neck that Fender offered it as a custom option where you could put your name in the neck of your guitar. And so it says Bob Clawson. And here, of course, you have the mid 67 transition over to the black CBS logo. The second string tree has been added, most likely. Then you have a myriad of holes here where it looks like multiple tuners have been on it. So you can see where it has the holes where there would have been the F tuners, which are probably original, and then maybe there were Clawsons put on later, and then of course you have these Grovers on there. Now here you can see a little bit of the stamp, the similar markings, which would seem to indicate that it is maybe from 68. But if so, this is a really early maple neck then, and I don't know if they used a maple neck instead of a maple cap neck because of the fact that they did the pearl inlay of Bob Clawson's
name in the neck or not, but this is a superbly cool guitar, because I dare you to find another 60s or 70s Fender that had that somebody took the option of paying for their name to be inlaid in the neck. I think this is just totally cool. So now, to add even more specialness, we have only the neck, but we have over here, we're not going to move too fast so we don't get all crazy sick. So let's Bubba. Yes. So this is Bob Clawson's son, Bubba. So he had Bubba put in the neck, and so this, it seems to be a later neck. So we didn't take it off, but being that it's got the plug there, it means that it's 69, but he seems to remember it being from 72. So this is somewhere in between 69 and 72, I guess. But here you have, of course, black CBS logo. You've got F-tuners. You got the skunk stripe. And, that beautiful dark rosewood fretboard. And, of course, Bubba inlaid there. Now, he sold the original body that was Lake Placid blue, and it was double band, which, again, would lead us to believe that it was 69 through 72. But then this is a later American vintage body, pick guard, everything. So basically they took the neck off an existing American vintage Lake Placid blue guitar, and to return it to its original as much as possible without going crazy vintage. Really, really cool guitars. And let's get these two kind of together again. You have Bubba and Bob Clawson. Come on, kids. What's not to like? All right. So Bobby Clawson here was kind enough to take the neck off Bubba's neck. And here we, lo and behold, February 1969. So again, let's look at the Bubba on the neck. And yes, you can see the plug up there and the logo. And let's look at the back of the headstock. F-tuners. That is most definitely a 1969 neck. So thank you, Bobby.
Not a problem. Hi, I'm Bubba Clawson, and down here at Clawson's Music, we've been here since 1964. That's right. My dad started this place. I was a little kid then. Then in the 70s, I got me one of these Telecaster necks. It might have been 69 or so. But we've been here locally owned for 50 years or however long it's been. But if you ever get down to Corpus Christi, Texas, and you want to see a Bubba, well, here's a Bubba neck right here, because they like to talk about us guys being from Texas with the name Bubba. But hey, we'd be glad to help you out. Whatever we can do, come see us. Clawson's Music since 1964.
How'd you start working at Clawson's? How'd you start working for your dad?
Okay. Back in the day, probably when I was 14 or 15 years old, I started working in the store. And then when I turned 17, I guess, there was nightclubs everywhere you could go. And I started playing when I was about 17, and then about 29, I came back to work here at the music store. So I guess you could say I've been doing this all my life, and had a good time at it. Like the people that I meet, like Zach. Hey, I've known him since he was 12 or 13 years old, and he'd come in here twice a week, and I kind of kid around with him. But now I like to watch him play because, hey, I might be able to learn something. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to play like Zach, but here at Clawson's, hey, we've had a good time, a lot of good people through the years. And if you ever get down to Corpus Christi, Texas, come look us up, because we'll be glad to help you out.
Do you remember ordering that neck?
Do I remember ordering it?
Or did your dad just order?
My dad ordered it. Yeah, I remember him ordering it for me, yeah.
Yeah. And you remember your dad ordering his with his name? Or
oh, yeah. Yeah, no, he ordered everything, and I was probably in the late '60s. Yeah, I guess so. I was probably only 16 to 17 years old, and of course I'm 70 now. My son works here. He's 39. He knows more about these guitars than I do, but hey, I like to play them and talk to people and sell them for sure.
All right. Well, thank you, Bubba.
Oh, hey, thank you, Zach. And hey, here in a little bit, you got to go up there and play this Bubba guitar for me, okay?
All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching these clips. It was a ton of fun for me to get to go down there and get to visit with them. Special thanks to Bob and Bubba and to Bobby Clawson for their extreme kindness, and I really enjoyed getting to spend some time with them. Clawson's music has always been a very special place to me. I started going there when I was 12 or 13, just like Bubba says in his little portion. And I bought tons of guitars, basses, amps, strings, all sorts of things. And I used to hang out there every Friday and Saturday afternoon for years because I took lessons with a guy named Pat Grogan. And I would go down there and hang out. Then I would have my lesson. And then after the lesson, I would go play a duo gig with Pat Grogan at this Italian restaurant on Padre Island called Island Italian. And it was a wonderful situation because I got to go, play a gig with my guitar teacher. And so then the next lesson, we could work on the things that I was having trouble with. And that was just amazing. It was more of a mentorship. And, Pat is a wonderful guy. I wish I could have spent time with him, but he wasn't up for a visit when I went down there. But yeah, Clawson's is really important to me, and I used to spend so much time there. I used to play every guitar that was on the wall, and and if they were busy, sometimes I'd help customers. So it was really great to see Bubba and Bobby, and just to get to go down there again. So thanks to Clawson's Music. If you're ever in Corpus Christi, Texas, you need to visit them, and remember, don't drink the coffee. That's an old joke. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.